Masters. It is my pleasure that I get to give my opinion, my evaluation of Anand's second speech. He's only given his icebreaker before, so it's a great pleasure that I listened to him. The focus of his speech was organization, since this is only your second speech you're working on, just putting it all together in a sensible format. And he also asked me to focus on his pace and his pronunciation as something separate aside. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on today. So since his speech was about organization, he needed a clear opening, a body, and then a conclusion. I thought that he opened very well with a storytelling technique, which I like. Stories always stick in my mind a little bit better. And it was a great way to engage the audience and also captured why his topic was important. I did want to mention at this point, your intro that you had, the Toastmaster read, I thought could have served as part of that opening of your speech as well. You actually let the Toastmaster do some of the work for you by kind of greasing the audience a little bit, and that could have really built in a little bit to your speech. So going forward, we'll just work on shoring that up a little bit so we're not giving away the whole thing, and then you can transition into your own words a little bit easier next time. I thought that, for me, the transitions were rather clear. He presented a definition of culture, and then he even had a visual with it. And then he moved on to sensitivity as another point, and gave some great examples of cultural sensitivities. And not only that, he also gave examples to us that we could relate to. And he pointed out that sensitivity isn't about a rash being sensitive like that, but it's about how you can respond to a different culture, and that was what was important about this, being sensitive to a culture. Not avoiding things, but more understanding. So I thought that was a nice, clear, succinct way to follow that up. Better than I did just now. Some things that are natural strengths for you as a speaker, Anand. When you worked on your pace, you did a good job when it was your own words, when it was your own storytelling. I have a hard time with dialects, but I was able to follow along very nicely. I know that's something we talked about in Coach's Corner. You did a great job. I thought it got a little bit more confusing, a little stumbling when you were reading more so. So when you were reading off of your cultural visual chart, it's when you struggled and maybe you speeded up a little bit more, just naturally, as we would tend to do. So my recommendation would be to limit that amount in your speeches and just really work on your own words and your own pace. You do good with that. I think that even though it's only your second speech, you had great gestures, even though you didn't move away from the podium. You have natural hand gestures that really help communicate and keep you visual interest for the audience. You indicated shyness, hand holding, hugging. Expand on that, you'll be a star. For next time, I think that you should just work on your transitions a little bit more. And you had a little bit of an abrupt ending, and you should have wrapped it back around. It was funny, though, and you had the audience laughing, so kudos for you on that. Overall, nice job. It was my pleasure to listen and evaluate you. Thank you. Madam General Speed up.